We were just having this conversation with a few brands lately, wherein they were just telling us that when it comes to Instagram content creators, they're not investing so heavily back then they used to, which is 2 years back. All brands were so bullish on Instagram that we were falling short of sponsors on YouTube. And we were like, dude, we are putting out content which is 10 minutes long, 20 minutes long. So every week, Things Cool produces at least 40 minutes worth of content, whereas the Instagram creators, they barely produce 5-6 minutes worth of content. The value here is obviously way higher as compared to there. The audience is more loyal. There, the audience is not at all loyal. Here, you have a link in the description by default. There, you have to go to the bio and click, so the conversion rates are very less. Here in YouTube, the state of mind of the person while they consume content is about seeking something, whether that's education, advice, or anything. Over there, it's merely entertainment. So the state of mind is very fickle because obviously the conversion will obviously drop down. So why are all the brands going bullish on Instagram? Bro, turns out even the brands were driven by instant gratification, whereby they just wanted to show number of clicks to their investors, number of app downloads to their investors versus optimizing for the right kind of customers. So this VC money flew in, went into Instagram so much that it has literally killed off the creativity of a lot of creators who had the potential to go to YouTube. Like you and I, we had no option. Like even I, for that matter, had an option to go with Instagram Reels. But you know what? We took the tough call. I don't know what we were thinking, but we took the tough call of giving away YouTube, giving up on Instagram Reels. And we said, let's go completely bullish on YouTube because we are educators. We need to provide value. Value cannot be given in 60 seconds. Value needs 20 minutes. We will stick to YouTube. Let everybody else make money on Instagram. So we did not get distracted over there, because of which even today we're reaping the benefit of building, of optimizing for value and long-term relationship with our subscribers as compared to just views, clicks, and dopamine. So this whole thing starts on the brands, and this is where I wanted to ask you, because you are so bullish both on Instagram and YouTube. Although you're more focused on YouTube, your ripple is actually showing result on Instagram as well, where you've got like what 2.4 million on Hindi, 4 million on English, which is crazy. So my question is, when brands approach their marketing campaign, bro, when there is such a loyal audience on YouTube, when there's a dearth of content creators, which means they're going to get the maximum visibility, why do brands even today choose to go on Instagram rather than YouTube? I know 2 years back it was all about dopamine, but does that make any business sense?
Firstly, if someone asked me the business angle on this, I would turn to you and like ask you the question, because you're one of my bros in my life who probably understands business with the most clarity that I have seen. But I can give you like a slightly more human and emotional perspective. Firstly, I feel the people who are the decision makers for the brands are who? The marketing heads, maybe the CMO. They themselves use Instagram more than YouTube. That's one massive part of it. So I think at the core, it's a human decision that चलो अरे उसका account फट रहा है, चलो करते हैं. Now this is one way of answering this question. I just feel Instagram usage is a lot more. Indians are an emotional janta as compared to the West, which is much more self-improvement and dry almost. Indians are moist. So I think a lot of India is on Instagram. That's one aspect of this. Second aspect would be the brand heads would be on Instagram. The third is if an Instagram campaign is done right, I think it can have an impact for the brand. And I say that because of how we have marketed our own shit on like Instagram. In terms of, I have a meditation app. We see results on both YouTube and Instagram, but it depends on the nuance of how the content is done out. Are you convincing enough in your sales skills on Instagram as you are with YouTube?
And tell me about, and I know because we had this conversation last time offline, where you spoke to me about how powerful YouTube is as compared to Instagram for brands, and how brands are not leveraging YouTube enough. Tell me about that.
Yeah. I think it takes a lot to be a YouTuber. I've played both games very intensely. It's thrice or 4 times as difficult to be a YouTuber because that many more skill sets are involved. The audience is smart enough to recognize that. If the audience is watching you for longer than a minute in today's day and age, that says a lot. If the audience chooses to not watch short content and then watch horizontal long form content, that says a lot. And above all, try recalling 5 or 10 reels or shorts you saw yesterday versus 1 or 2 long form videos we saw yesterday. It's just a very human thing. The recall value of remembering that is a lot more, which is the basis of marketing. I'm all for jersey sponsors in sports. For example, Manchester United just changed their jersey sponsor to Snapdragon. I'm a huge Man United fan. I went and saw what Snapdragon is now because it looked good on that jersey. And then parallelly, there's a narrative about jersey sponsors being irrelevant, etc. Dude, no. You will remember something if it's done well, if it's in the domain that appeals to you. There is a significant portion of the Indian population that turns to YouTube as new age television. I also believe when we were growing up, there was Nat Geo, Discovery Channel, Animal Planet. These were the 3 knowledge-based channels. History Channel would be the 4th. I think YouTube is a substitute for TV from when we were growing up. And you remember some great television ads in the same way you will remember great influencer marketing campaigns if they're done on YouTube. You may or may not remember them if they're done on Instagram because the recall value isn't strong enough.
Hi guys, thank you so much for watching the Indian Business Podcast. If you find value in our work, please hit that subscribe button because for you it might be a zero effort task, but for us, that subscriber count is an important instrument to get great guests to our podcast and to make this podcast better for you. So if you find value, please subscribe.